Ready to Write, a public library program created by Bentley Clark. A Pew Research Center survey of 13 to 17-year-olds conducted in 2018 found that 84% of teens use their cell phone to connect with other people. Every day, teens are communicating with their device 140 characters at a time, but teens have bigger stories to tell. Ready to Write is a writing program designed for teen patrons of Washington County Cooperative Library Services and other teens in the Portland metropolitan area. The program is intended to provide the opportunity to create, craft, and present a story from their life at WCCS's event, Art of the Story, and at WCCLS's library's websites. Washington County Cooperative Library Services is a partnership between Washington County, 9 cities, and 3 nonprofit organizations. WCCLS has 16 public libraries in the County of Washington, Oregon. From summer 2018 to summer 2019, these 16 libraries had over 3,800,000 visits and more than 11,100,000 total checkouts. In fiscal year 2018 to 2019, WCCLS held 8,407 programs for children and young adults. There were over 284,000 in total attendance at these programs. Ready to Write workshops will be held at WCCLS Tigard Public Library, which is centrally located and can accommodate small or large groups in their study rooms, conference room, or auditorium. Washington County, Oregon is west and southwest of Portland, Oregon, and is part of the Portland metropolitan area. There are 216,507 households in Washington County. 22.5% of its citizens are under the age of 18, and the median household income is $78,010. Every spring, Washington County Cooperative Library Services hosts a series of events at various WCCLS libraries that constitute Art of the Story. But for the COVID-19 pandemic, 2020 would have marked the 16th year of the event. The event was to feature 3 professional storytellers, an adult story slam, 2 student story slam contests, and an older and wiser showcase. Beginning 2021, Art of the Story will also feature stories written by Ready to Write participants. The target audience for this program is teen patrons of WCCLS. While not geared specifically for LGBTQ homeless teens, the program will be welcoming and inclusive, and will be marketed to this group as well. 1 in 10 teens in Oregon identify as LGBTQ, and about 5% identify as non-binary. LGBTQ young adults have a 120% higher risk of homelessness compared to youth who identify as heterosexual and cisgender. The purpose of Ready to Write are several-fold. First of all, to provide participating teens with safe, accepting, and respectful environment to explore their creativity and self-expression. Allow participating teens the opportunity to have their experiences heard by an audience that might not otherwise listen. Foster a lifelong appreciation for stories and storytellers, encourage new friendships, and create a positive relationship between participating teens and their public library. Ready to Write will be an annual workshop held at Tigard Public Library, a WCCLS library, over 2 consecutive Saturdays in the spring. The workshop begins with a discussion about the elements of storytelling from a professional storyteller chosen from Portland Storytellers Guild. A different writing prompt will be provided each year. The writing prompt will encourage introspection and positivity from the participants. Writing will begin during the first weekend of the workshop, and while participants are welcome to write on their own time, the workshop will provide and encourage participants, the workshop will allow and encourage participants to ask questions of the professional storyteller and the library facilitator, who is a librarian with teen programming and writing experience. A Story Slam contest is a competition within a set time limit, placing emphasis on storytellers' content and performance. Each story must be an original work. First-person real-life adventures are expected. Each storyteller has 10 minutes to tell their story from memory. The slam is judged by the audience, and the winner receives a cash prize and the opportunity to tell a story at Art of the Stories festival finale. Short of the judging and prize and cash prize, Ready to Write story rules will be based on Story Slam contest rules. The story must be true. It must be written in first-person point of view. It must be no more than 10 minutes in length, which is about 1,000 to 2,000 words. The story must be in response to the provided prompt. 2021's prompt is, tell a story of when you were a hero. The outcome of Ready to Write is a story that the participant can be proud of regardless of whether or not the story is ever told or published. However, participants can submit their story to Art of the Story for the opportunity to perform their story for a live audience and/or submit their story for publication on the WCCLS Tigard Public Library website. Marketing of the workshop will include flyers at each of the 16 WCCLS libraries and at local social agencies, youth activity organizations, homeless shelters, and LGBTQ drop-in centers. The workshop will appear on WCCLS website and event calendars. It will also be included in Art of the Story specific marketing materials such as flyers, their website, and their event calendar. Ready to Write will incur several expenses, including the professional storyteller to begin the discussion of storytelling and to act as consultant for the workshop and as mentor to the participants. A graphic designer will need to be hired to create the Ready to Write logo. This will be a one-time expense. Flyers will need to be printed, and lastly, branded notebooks and pens will need to be purchased for participants. Funding for Ready to Write will come from funds already earmarked for library programs and from grants. As Maya Angelou once said, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Ready to Write provides teens with the opportunity to tell their bigger story.